Hey there, Bison fans. Coach Velk here again. I'm going to take you through our typical Saturday routine that we do with our kids for recovery, day after football games, and that's going to include our RPR and our yoga. If you're just looking for the yoga, fast forward into this video, and our yoga routine will pick up there. If you're looking for the RPR, that's going to come right here. Okay? So I'm going to take you guys through it. I'm not going to give a ton of explanation because we've done this 100 times. We just wanted to remind you guys the drills, the order we do them, and kind of where the certain points are. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do to wake ourselves up is we're going to go with the diaphragm reset and breathing. Okay, so first thing we want to do is take 3 deep belly breaths. Okay, we're going to go hands on our hips. We're going to go 3 deep belly breaths. And when I say belly breaths, I mean really expand that belly, right? Get that breathing done. Okay, again, our yoga will be better if we do the RPR first. So do your RPR before you lift, before you work out, before you run, just to kind of make sure your body's woken up and ready to perform the right way. Okay, so after your 3 deep belly breaths, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your diaphragm reset and give that pressure point right across the front of our body there. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go underneath the rib cage a little bit. Okay, it's easy if you're not talking, right, during this. Just makes it easier to really get into that diaphragm. Okay. All right, from there, just looking at my notes, make sure I get everything in order here. We want to make sure that we are getting our psoas woken up. So our psoas, that lower abdominal wall, we want to make sure we get some pressure in there. Okay. Again, it's below your belly button, that lower abdominal wall. Okay. And again, what I'm doing here is I'm using what I call my paint scrapers. I'm going to scrape paint off with my thumb, right, or my fingers. Okay. So I'm kind of using those pressure points right there to help wake ourselves up. Next thing there is going to be our glutes, all right? Glutes, that back of the head we talk about, right? Almost like giving ourselves a massage with our thumbs, okay? Why does this work? Why does this warm up our glutes? I'm not a scientist, I don't know, but it works and it's great. So I'm going to come here, I like to pull forward behind my ears a little bit and follow my jawline all the way down, okay? So as soon as we have that done, our glutes, we're going to go into our quads, okay? Now we work our quads, we're going to saw ourselves in half, okay? Again, using my paint scraper, using my thumb, kind of go back and forth, across there. Remember, this is a 2-parter. I always forget the second part. But from there, we're going to go into that front part of our quads there, right? Right kind of on the inside of our knee almost, okay? Where our quads are there. And give that area essentially a little massage, okay? All right, from there, we are going to work our hamstrings. So hamstrings, we're going to go across our tailbone, okay, into that sacrum, okay, and then up and down there through the tailbone, and then follow kind of the top of your glutes around the back there, right, waking up the hamstrings. From there, we're going to go right into our hips, okay, right into our hips. Follow the ridge line of your hip bone, all the way around the front and back there. Wake yourselves up there. Those of you guys who have not been doing RPR before you work out, start doing it again, right? You'll feel better. Just it's an easy wake up. Again, just takes you a few minutes to do. Knock out these drills, right? And I guarantee your workouts will get better here. Okay, after our hips, we're going to work our calves. So we can find my belly button, 45 degrees. Okay, this one is also a 2-parter, so let's not forget the second part. Again, using my paint scraper to apply some pressure here. All right. Then I'm going to bullet hole it as if the bullet went right through me and go into my back. Okay? So I've got that working now. After I work my calves, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to work my lats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that 3rd rib, right, that space in there, and I'm going to give that, using my paint scraper, right, get into that area down there. Okay? As soon as I have that done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wake up my abdominals. So that's going to be, right, on that inside of your leg right here. We can do one of 2 things. We can karate chop the inside, okay, if we want to wake that up in there. Or again, we can use our paint scraper and just do one at a time, okay, on that inside of your leg. Okay, this one might be a little painful if you haven't done this in a while, right? But this one does feel good after you do it. You feel a lot more loose, especially in your legs, right? and helps wake up your abdominals so your core is functional for all of your workouts. Okay? Alright, from there we are going to go ahead and start working our neck and our shoulders. Okay? So I'm going to do is I'm going to work underneath that collarbone. Okay? I'm going to work on top of the collarbone too. Okay? Make sure you get both sides. Alright? Then from there we are going to go ahead and start working our shoulders. Okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to get where the shoulder meets the body. Okay? Work the top of the shoulder there a little bit. And you are pretty much good to go. Okay? So now that you've got your body woken up, you can go into your next routine. Okay? So now I'm going to go into our yoga routine. And again, not a yoga instructor, just someone that's trying to give our kids something to help stretch them out and keep them loose. Okay? So as I go through this, I'm going to add a few things here and there, guys, just so you guys know. And again, don't always judge me on my form. Doing the best I can, like I know you guys are, but I'll try to give you guys tips from what I've learned along the way as well. So the first thing I'm going to have you guys do is we're going to go into do some more breathing. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to keep your feet, the tops of your feet flat. This is a great stretch for your feet and your quads. And I want you to try to sit back on your feet a little bit. Okay? And from here, what you're going to do, okay, if you don't feel any pain in your knees, I don't want you to do this, okay, but you might feel some tightness in your feet, but again, if you sit here for a little bit and breathe, you can kind of breathe into the posture. What that's going to do is going to help open you up a little bit, and then it's going to help loosen up your quads, and especially those muscles in your feet that you really never stretch, okay? So I'm going to take 3 deep breaths here. You can keep your hands anywhere you want. In typical yoga practices that I've seen, people keep it in prayer pose sometimes. You can keep it on your quads, whatever is comfortable for you. So after you take your breaths, what we're going to do is we're going on a child's pose. So child's pose is going to be down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep my back straight and reach my arms out in front of me. Reaching my arms out in front of me, okay, is going to feel a little stretch in my shoulders, okay? Now if you feel any sort of pain in your shoulders, right, don't get out real far. You can keep your elbows bent a little bit, all right? But you want to be comfortable. This should not be a straining stretch, okay? I'm not going to hold the stretches as long as typically you would. 20 to 30 seconds for each stretch is usually pretty good. If you want to do it longer, there is a form of yoga called yin yoga where you actually hold stretches for 1 to 2 minutes. So if you can hold these stretches for 1 to 2 minutes as you breathe, the breathing is really important. It's going to help loosen you up a little bit, okay? So we're going to go into our up dog and our down dog, okay? And our up dog, in our down dog, what we're going to do is I'm going to try to push my calves into the ground and push my butt up into the air, okay? You want to try to keep your hands flat. If you have wrist problems, you can go up on your fists. I'll do that every once in a while to help ease the pain in my wrist a little bit, okay? So as I go up here, I'm going to go up and I'm going to try to press my calves into the ground. You can see I'm a little bit tight today, right? A little bit tight, can't quite get those calves down. But again, if you want to work just one leg at a time, you can walk it out and really stretch out that calf muscle individually there, okay? Next thing, you can go to our up dog, okay? Go ahead and you come down. Notice my feet are going to be flat, and I'm going to push up here. Now again, you need to do this up to your comfort level with wrists, okay? Guys with wrist problems, try to go on your knuckles, all right, especially if you're on a soft surface, which you should be. And you want to try to get those thighs off the ground here. You're going to feel a nice deep stretch, okay? Nice deep stretch here. And then you can go and you can repeat. So we like to repeat this twice. Again, trying to get those calves a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower there. Go back down into my up dog, and really try to feel that stretch there. Get my arms long, thighs are off the ground. All right, next thing is going to be our front lunge series, okay? So I'm going to start off with my left leg up here. Now I'm going to see that with my left leg, my left hip is tighter than my right hip but my left hamstring is looser than my right hamstring. So you're going to feel a different stretch on each side, and that's okay. That's okay to have that. So the first thing we're going to do in our front lunge series, right, I'm going to try to keep my knee over my heel. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to gradually just push my hips forward. What you don't want to do is twist. Okay, I want to try to keep everything square and have everything moving forward here. Pushing my hips forward, body upright, and I should feel that stretch in my psoas, right? In the front of my groin here a little bit, and just keep pressing forward. Okay, if you want to really think about squaring off your hips, with using my left hip first, try to pull that left hip back and that right hip forward, and you'll feel that deeper stretch help square off your hips. Okay, next thing is, as we want to feel, stretch out our abdominals a little bit, interlace my fingers, put that up over my head, and just reach backwards. That's going to help push my hips forward and get a nice stretch in my abdominal wall. Okay, next thing here is I'm going to put down my right hand and I'm going to try to twist. Okay, try to get a nice twist. Now notice as I'm doing these stretches, my knee is trying to stay right above my my heel there, right? I don't want to be way up here. I don't want this to be way back here. I want this to be up as far as I can. So I can just reach up there, and again, with that back foot, try to keep that back foot flat. Help stretch out that foot a little bit. All right, now from here, okay, what we are going to do is we are going to try to come down and bring our elbows to the ground. Now, one thing I'll tell you here is my left hip, I really need to breathe into this one. Okay, this one gets really, really difficult for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some pillows. Okay, if you struggle with this, I know we don't have this at school, but again, it's a great way to help you get down into this posture. So to get down to my lizard posture, as it's called, okay, I don't want to be leaned over. I want to try to stay square, and I'm going to try to bring my elbows to the ground. Now, if you look at me here, I cannot get down right away on this side. I struggle with my left hip. So what I can do is I can stay up in my hands, get down as low as I can. All right. One thing we've done is we've wrapped this arm around to try to pull ourselves down a little bit. As long as we're not feeling any pain in the knee or anything, try to pull ourselves down a little bit, keeping ourselves square. Okay. You can also get some pillows. And go ahead and lean your elbows on those pillows, okay, or a block or a box, and that will help give you a little bit of a deeper stretch. If you want to feel a little bit deeper too, you can get that leg out and roll on the outside of that foot. That's really going to open up the hip, okay? Open up your hip muscles here, all right, and get you nice and loose. All right, from here, we're going to come back up and we're going to work our hamstrings a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up. I want to try to try to keep that hip over this back knee as well. And I'm going to get that foot out, try to point that toe back at my face. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reach down and grab my toes. Now as I reach down and grab my toes, again, you don't want to roll from the back. You want to try to keep that back as straight as possible. So again, I always say bend from the waist, not the back. And you want to try to go almost up and over to keep that back straight. Try to get your face to your toe, not your face to your knee. You put your face to your knee, you're going to bend at the back and roll that back, and it's going to hurt. Okay? So I'm going to go up and over, and I'm going to come down. I'm going to start working that hamstring. Okay? Now keep breathing here, and you can breathe into this as much as you want. Deep breaths are going to help you get a little bit deeper. So every deep breath you take, try to get a little bit deeper with it and into that hamstring. Okay? All right, from there, we're going to go to the other side. All right? We're going to work that same thing. All right? Same thing with my right. Now, you're going to see my right hip is more flexible than my left hip, but you're also going to see that my my right hamstring is much tighter. Okay? So again, I'm going to push those hips forward. Again, I'm thinking about, again, pushing this hip forward, pulling this hip backwards to square up my hips. All right? That knee is staying over that foot. And again, if I want to get a little bit deeper with it, I can put my hands over my head straight up, or I can interlace my fingers and give a little lean backwards. Okay, that's going to open up my abdominal wall a little bit, stretches out in there, and it's going to help you feel a deeper stretch in that hip area. From there, we're going to come down and we're going to give a twist. So I'm going to put my right hand flat, and I'm going to twist open. Next thing from there is I'm going to come into my lizard posture. Okay, so my lizard posture, I probably won't need the pillows for this, or I might start off with the pillows, right? I might say, I'm a little bit tight today, and I'm going to gradually work my way down. Okay, I'm rolling on the outside of my foot, because I know I can get a little bit deeper here, and I'm going to gradually try and come down onto my elbows. And I can see my back's a little rounded right there, so I want to try to get a little straighter. Okay. From there, we're going to come back up, and again, feel free to hold these as long as you want. I'm trying to keep the video somewhat short. All right, it's already going to be kind of a long one. I'm going to come back up my heel, point that toe back at me, and again, I'm going to try to not bend at the back, but bend at the waist, and I'm going to try to come up and over. You see my knee already wants to bend, right? Because this hamstring is very tight. So as I come here, try to come up and over. I cannot reach as far in this one, but I'm going to breathe into it, all right? Alright, from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up and shake out my legs a little bit, loosen up, okay, make sure I feel good. I'm going to come down into catcher pose. Now, catcher pose, just like it is if you're a baseball catcher, you want to try to come down, squat down, keeping those heels in the ground. Some of you might not be able to keep those heels in the ground, so go one at a time, okay? Go here, and go here. If you want to feel a deeper stretch, again, you can push out on those knees. Alright, try to keep your balance. You can push out on those knees and feel a nice stretch in that groinal area. From there, we're going to work our pigeon. So again, I'm going to go my right hip first. Pigeon, I want to try to cross that leg in front of me, try to keep it perpendicular with the mat. What I'm going to do here is I don't want to be on this hip. Okay, a lot of guys try to do pigeon, they're on this hip already. You want to be up here, and then you want to try to push that weight back. Okay? And as I do this, you can come down to where it's comfortable. All right, try to elongate that spine. Again, if you want to feel this deeper stretch in your shoulders, you can bring your head down and go up on your fingertips. You'll feel a deeper stretch in your shoulders. This is one of my favorite stretches. Again, easier to do on my right hip than my left hip. Okay, so again, feel free to hold this stretch as long as you want. Again, 20 to 30 seconds should be sufficient, not great, but 1 to 2 minutes will really get you loosened up if you do this over the course of time. So from there, we're going to come back up slowly. We're going to switch legs, okay? Now you're going to feel a difference between your right leg and your left leg. And remember, when you're doing this, you don't want to be leaned on this hip, falling down here. You want to be up here, and you want to be able to feel that stretch right in the bottom of your glute here. Okay, so as I reach out, I can do the shoulder stretch if I want to. Again, for me, it kind of hurts my shoulders, so I'm going to stay away from that. And again, you've got to come down to where it's comfortable. You don't want these things to hurt. You just want them to be comfortable enough for you to feel that deep stretch, be able to breathe, and not be in pain. Okay, from there, we're going to work our groin stretch. For this, I'm on a wood floor, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my pillows here. Okay. I'm going to take a pillow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left leg first. I'm going to try to go straight out to the side, and I'm going to go down as deep as I can here. Okay? Really opening up that groin and stretching out here. Now you can see again, all right? You're probably going to be pretty tight in here if you haven't stretched this out, but gradually breathe into it. And you want to go to where you feel the stretch, but you don't want to be in pain. Okay? That's really the biggest thing with this. All right, from there, we're going to do the other side now. Other side here, again, same thing. Want to try to keep those hips square, but really get that leg going straight out to the side. You see how my leg wanted to come back there. Want to go straight out to the side and down as deep as you can. Again, you want to be in, you want to be stretching out, you don't want to be in pain. That's the biggest thing here. Okay? Okay, from there, typically we'll stand up again, shake out our legs before we go to our next thing. Next thing, we're going to sit down. We're going to sit down crisscross applesauce. Okay? Does not matter which leg is in front. we're going to try to reach in front of us, right? Try to get a little bit deeper down again, something you want to breathe into. So as I come down, now you can see I'm coming a little bit more forward each time, each deep breath I take. We're going to repeat that process, switching our legs, right? Putting another leg in front. Same process here. Breathe into the stretches. Okay, from there, what we're going to do is we're going to do another hip stretch. What I'm doing is I'm going to lay down on my back, move these pillows out of the way. I'm going to take my right leg first, and I'm going to put it over my left leg, and I'm going to thread the needle. I'm going to try to put my one hand through here. We can grab at the hamstring if we want to. We can pull forward here. Right? We can grab the top of the knee as long as there's no knee pain. Again, if you have any knee pain at all, I would stay on the back of the hamstring, which is totally fine. If you want to feel a deeper stretch, you can take one hand here behind the hamstring and this hand and push forward here. Right? Trying to get this leg and that knee going forward a little bit. Okay, I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. Much tighter for me on the other side. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab behind the hamstring and I'm going to pull forward here. Again, if you have knee pain, don't grab up here. If you don't, you feel comfortable doing that, go ahead. Again, if you want that deeper stretch, go ahead and try to push forward here. All right. From there, everyone's favorite, right? Happy baby. Now, happy baby, what we're going to do with that is we're going to lay on our backs. We're going to try to pull our knees right down to the mat. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to pull my feet, and I'm going to try to pull my knees down to the mat. All right? It's a great hip opener, great hip stretch here. All right? I don't want my feet over my head. I'm really comfortable right here. My back is flat on the ground, and I'm kind of pulling those knees down. So great hip opening stretch here. All right. From there, we're going to work our quads. There's several quad stretches you could do. You could just go back to the first thing we were doing, where you were right here, okay? And then start to lean back, okay? Lean back as far as much as comfortable, okay, without hurting yourself, all right? You can lift your hips up if you want to feel a deeper stretch in your quads. This is great for stretching out your feet. You could also do what we call our Hubers, all right? Thank you, Chris Huber. And if you can't grab both legs, a lot of people can't, all right? You want to try to grab both legs, lift them up, but if you can't, you can just grab one leg at a time. What you can do here, you can go ahead, you can try to get that leg off the ground, okay? And the more you pull up, right, the deeper you're going to feel in that quad. You want to try to keep your hips down and really get that stretch from the quad. You're not opening up like this because you're not going to feel the stretch in your quad. So again, get right here and pull that up. Again, just working one side at a time. Those are two really good quad stretches. So if you have any questions, guys, let me know. Again, that's our typical Saturday routine. So guys are looking for recovery days, things to do on the weekends without lifting and stuff like that. As the weather gets nicer, I'll try to get outside to some speed stuff, but that should get you through RPR and yoga. If you guys have any questions, let me know.